Hello, listeners. Mallory Wilsey here, Chief Producer of the Enrollify Network. So, everyone is talking about AI these days, but not enough people are taking the time to unpack how AI will impact the future of higher education. And that's why we launched the Generation AI podcast, co-hosted by Artis Cadu, CEO of Element 451, and JC Bonilla, Chief Data Officer at VaynerMedia. Artis and JC have worked on large language models for nearly 2 decades and have remarkable technical knowledge around how they work and how generative AI will impact the future of higher ed. Generation AI isn't just about understanding artificial intelligence. It's about being part of the AI revolution in education. Tune in, get informed, and be inspired to innovate in your educational space with the power of artificial intelligence. You can subscribe to the show by visiting podcast.enrollify.org or just search Generation AI wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Talking Tactics, a podcast that gets you results. Each episode features a single tactic implemented with limited resources that moved the needle in enrollment in some way. I'm your host, Day Kibbles, Strategy Director at Ology, a marketing and branding agency for education. Join me every other week for discussions with some of the most clever folks in admissions and enrollment marketing, doing the work day to day, just like you. Talking Tactics is a part of the Enrollify Network, a robust collection of podcasts designed to help higher education professionals like you grow. Explore our other shows at enrollify.org or check out some of my personal favorites, linked in the show notes below. Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the leading AI-powered, all-in-one student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful, personalized, and engaging interactions with students. Check them out at element451.com. Hola, buenos días y gracias por estar aquí, amigos. Bienvenidos a Plática Táctica. Mi nombre es Diana Kibbles, su humilde anfitriona, y conmigo está mi queridísimo amigo Emanuel Díaz de IE University en España. Emma, bienvenido.
Hola, Day. Qué lindo estar aquí. Me encanta.
A mí también. Emma, ¿qué te parece mi introducción en español?
Me encanta que estemos teniendo esta dinámica como las dos reinas bilingües que somos.
Reinas bilingües, chisme en el
balcón edition.
All right, that was fun for us, but do you think we should switch to English?
Let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, let's do it. I'll do it again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Talking Tactics. Today's episode is about a video that was created to boost enrollment in a new marketing program. This video was produced with the lowest budget the team had ever worked with, and it's gotten 20% more views than the other program videos they have. But even cooler than that, it's being used by LinkedIn and TikTok as examples of best practices in their presentations to their clients. It was a finalist for Cannes Corporate Media and TV Awards, and for IE University has completely changed how they handle video creation. To talk to us about it is my dear friend Emanuel, as I already introduced. He's the head of content marketing at IE University in Spain, and he's the most soulful storyteller I know. His passion for content started in the banking industry. I cannot imagine you in that, by the way, Emma. I cannot. In his native Puerto Rico, where he's from, and the challenge of trying to make bank content soulful is what kind of brought him there in the first place. And since then, he's been adding soul and life to everything he touches. So, Emma, welcome to the show.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I'm so excited. That is a beautiful introduction. And yes, the banking days were my dark days.
We don't talk about them, I guess. Only to say how you got out.
I'm happy I didn't become an engineer, which is what I initially enrolled for in university. And then accounting.
Oh, well, I mean, you would have... Oh my God, Emanuel, what?
That was going to be interesting.
Welcome to marketing. This is where you belong. So let's talk about this cool video. Yes. Take us back to how it all started and where the idea came from.
So this video, I'm going to sort of explain it so people can visualize it because they're listening
Yeah.
to us, but not really seeing
Yes.
it. This video features Andrew McCarthy, which is one of our academic directors, and he is taking the viewer in the experience of what it actually means to work within the MarCom world and all the different disciplines. So he's going and showing visually how it feels like to be an account manager or to do research or to be a creative or to do stats. And it's done in a very funny way. And he stumbles upon all these crazy situations like a film recording, and there are Spartans dressed up like fighting behind a green screen, and that's like the video part and the audiovisual part. Then there's a person with like 7 phones screaming at all the different phones and taking the calls, like an account manager. Then the marketing researchers are sort of like counting how many licks do they get from a lollipop.
Lollipop?
and they're counting numbers, and it's like this fun and exaggerated way to sort of explain what our industry is, but in a way that's engaging for our audience. And obviously, Andrew is an amazing storyteller. He has a great voice. He has some je ne sais quoi to him that you can't put your hands in. And he was amazing. And this idea was initially, so the main team that worked in this were 3 people from marketing. We have Lucia Malmierca and Sofia Ketglas from, let's say that the more marketing product oriented side, marketing managers, managing part. And then Elena Baum from the audiovisual team, who's my team, that was involved in this. And the video initially started because they wanted to tackle the customer perspective of what marketing is. So you know that universities are always like, oh, we're going to focus on what we need and we're going to put our pathways in how we sell our programs.
Oh, what? Universities do that?
Plot twist, like, you know, and gasp, gay gasp. So, so what they wanted to do is put yourself in the perspective of a student of like, oh, I want to study marketing, but do you actually know what marketing is and all the different paths that it you can take while in marketing? And do you know how difficult it can be? It's not just fun, glitz and glamour. There's a lot of things happening. We made it in a fun way and perspective. So the team literally wrote.
Yeah. And we will link the video in the show notes for folks to look at.
Please. It's fun. You're gonna enjoy it. And the team fun. They wrote the script on their own. They were writing the script and they came up with the idea, and automatically as the script came to life, they imagined Andrew delivering this, and it was like the perfect match of who is the perfect, you know, portrayer of this message. And it was because we needed to sort of explain the MarCom pathway, which is the MarCom pathway is our own commercial pathway, but it's also an academic pathway in a way that would be understandable for the student. So it was a very customer-centric initiative, let's just say.
Did creating this video come about because the pathway was new for the university, or was there like an enrollment driver behind it, or do you just make videos for all your programs?
We do make videos for all of our programs, but not this fabulous for all of our programs. I say that this was a game changer in that way. The marketing programs were within a school that used to exist that was called Human Sciences and Technology. So when that school transformed to something else, these programs were part of the business school. So they needed their own identity within their business, within the business school. And that's why it initially started. These were new students to the school. The other students were doing the MBA or more business focused programs or finance programs. And let's say that they were the new creature within the world. And it was a way for us to showcase that whole division within the business school.
Right. Okay. So primarily awareness. Hey, this is here and that's what it's about, right? Like that was what you were trying to do. Awesome. All right. So you said you do make videos for other programs, but not for this program. How, and what I love about it is how much the team actually took it upon themselves to write the script, and the talent is internal. How was this video different from your other videos?
So there was something quite interesting and magical about this video. And it was the fact that we had to do this, but of course, we didn't have the right budget for it, right? Like we needed to restructure all of these programs, not just one. It's not like we're doing a video for the MBA, which is a very specific video. You had a section of programs that needed to be an umbrella of programs that needed to be explained in a way that made sense. And we didn't have a big budget for it. So we said, okay, we have limited resources, but we have a good idea, an idea that's different and that's bold. What we did with this is that Lucia used to work in admissions before, so she had that insight of the all the concerns.
She's my people. Hi, Lucia. You're my people.
She had this insight of all the concerns that students had when they arrived at admissions, because she used to manage the admissions for MarCom, however they were called. It was specialized programs before. Yeah. And she sort of got that insight of how students perceive this and the general confusions that they have when choosing one program versus the other. So the difference with this one was that we said, let's sort of put a bow on it in all the different programs within one umbrella video that we can then segment within all the different programs. The budget part is that we said we're going to build the script internally, which we did. We hired a production agency to do the recording and the editing, but we recorded everything within our facilities so that we wouldn't spend in location or anything. And everyone that participated in the video is part of the IE community. So we have the academic director, who's the lead person. We have vice deans that were present in the recording. We have staff members, students, and we sort of wanted to cut the costs on that part. We like to do our videos with our communities, but in this scenario, we had to do our videos with everyone from our community, which made it feel a bit more, I don't know, like family and friends oriented, which was a very cool dynamic on set, because you were laughing at your super professional colleague dressed as a Roman soldier, and it was a very fun experience to sort of do this with our colleagues.
This is also a team building activity, everyone. This is also
100%
very much employer branding. So I'm glad you're addressing the budget thing, because, this is a podcast about low resources, or limited resources, and, making a video that wins things. People might think, oh my gosh, that's so out of reach, right? But it doesn't really need to be that much. You have the talent internally. You have it. It just needs to be harnessed and put together. So I love that.
Hey, it's Mallory. Exciting news. I'm hosting the Engage Summit in Raleigh on June 25th and 26th, and I'd love to meet you there. Together, we'll dive into the mind of the modern student, what fires them up, how they interact, and what they expect in today's digital age, and how tools like AI help put them in the driver's seat of their education. We have some terrific speakers, including our closing keynote, New York Times best-selling author Jeff Selingo. Sessions will dig into practical ideas and innovative strategies to get your team more student-centered and ready to adopt AI. And many of your favorite Enrollify hosts are presenting too, like Jamie Hunt, Jenny Lee Fowler, and Brian Gross. Use the discount code Enrollify50 for an extra $50 off your registration. Learn more and register at engage.element451.com. We can't wait to see you there.
I always say that you don't need an amazing budget to make an amazing video, because a good idea with the right people, obviously you need the right elements. We had the main storyteller, who was great for video, who also happened to be an academic director, so that was perfect. Native speaker, that for us is important because we're based in Spain. It was, all the elements were aligned correctly for this to happen, but it was mainly a great idea that the team came up with and brought to life.
So talk to us about those elements. So we know we had the lead, this amazing professor. What are some of the other things the team had to do to put it all together?
So it was mainly the part of getting together with the academic team so that they were up for this. This sweet dance of, I want to tell people that I'm doing this, but not everyone, so that I don't get this project stopped in the tracks, because it was very bold and different for us, right? Like it's very unusual for you to see someone dressed in green running around with a spear in a video.
Yeah. At a marketing
Exactly.
school.
So it was this element of getting the right people on board and getting them up with the idea, that I think that was very important.
Mm-hmm.
And also a lot of good chemistry with that main speaker. So the script was written, but Andrew was part of this. Andrew was able to sort of make comments and edits. He sort of felt like this was his video in a way. So that meant that the impact that he had afterwards with sharing the video, talking about the video, and doing a lot of post release efforts were amazing, because he felt that this was part of his video. Let's just say we worked with the production agency. All the talent was internal. We wrote everything internal, and it was sort of a management within the IE community itself.
Yeah. How big was like the core team, the team managing the video?
3 people. Lucia, Sofia, and Elena were part of that core team. Obviously, there were figures outside of them helping, like for example the production agency, who the director was Nacho Monge, who's amazing. He was also part of that, let's say, that core team, but it was a very short and small team to put out this idea. And what I love is that they had no idea of the good impact this video was going to have afterwards. And it's a story I always love to say, because they said, well, we thought it was just another video we do for our programs. It's just a crazy idea come to life, and it was a game changer.
It is a game changer. And how long did it take from kind of start to finish? I'm trying to make it tangible for folks. So we're talking small team, all in-house extras and talent. How long did it take from start to end?
1 to 2 months.
Okay. That's not bad.
No, it was a quick turnaround. Very quick turnaround.
Obviously, how many people you have on set and kind of being recorded depends on your idea, right? So for folks, after you listen to this and you go watch the video, or you can pause this and go watch the video, you'll see what Emma means. Like there's all these different kind of scenes that happen. But some people kind of repeat, right? In some of the scenes, like they just outfit change.
They outfit change. You know what I loved about this video? We do not have a lot of outfit change. Because a lot of people wanted to be part of this. Because they made it fun, and also because people love the academic director.
It was fun.
So they were like, "Oh, I wanna have the opportunity to work with him," or his students wanted to be in a video feature with their professor or their academic director. So for everyone, they were excited. Yes, we repeated certain profiles in different shots, but a lot of people just wanted to be part of the video.
So that's key, folks. When you have an idea like this, it really centers around like this super charismatic person who not only is going to make the video great, but like Emma just said, they're going to be a champion whenever it actually gets released, and like lead by example to maybe other academic peers or other people in the community, like, hey, no, this can be done, and it isn't big bad central MarCom telling us what to do. So find that person. That person exists in your community. You just need to make best friends.
And again, I always go back to soul that you were talking about in the beginning. When an idea has soul, everything else sort of like works around it perfectly. There's a perfect tango within all the forces that need to be aligned for this to happen, because a good idea makes people motivated to do stuff for that idea and to make it work. And I think that that's something that's quite beautiful when there is a soulful idea, that the minute that the people and that our community read this script and knew who was part of that, they just wanted to help, and they wanted this to work, and they wanted to share it. And usually we go on LinkedIn and we're like, oh my God, look at this amazing video that my university posted. But like, you really, sometimes you're impressed, sometimes you really aren't.
We don't feel exactly. It. Nobody feels it.
But this time around, it was such a cool video, and it really felt part of the community. You didn't have to, harass people to share it on LinkedIn. People actually wanted to share it. Share my video. And that's a cool part, that this video started being shared by everyone. I was like, well, there you go. That's the magic when you have a soulful, good idea.
That's the magic.
Yeah.
The soul. Yeah. So everything's sounding great so far, but were there any challenges, Emma? Any hurdles
Oh yeah,
along the
of
way?
course. Budget wise, because this idea, when the team wrote it, the production agency saw it and they were like, "Well, sweetie, this is more expensive than what you have." Obviously, we're like aiming for the Matrix, but we have the budget for like something you shoot out of your phone. So
Yeah.
they were like, well, there are some inconsistencies with your expectations and what you need to do. So that's when we sort of started downsizing a lot of the things. So like doing it in-house, but also we have fees with these agencies. So we took part of the small part of budget that we had and we took a bit part of the fee and we sort of matched those two to be able to get to that right number that the agency felt comfortable with and we felt comfortable with as well. But mind you, for the program and the pathway, they were putting all the eggs in the basket because it was the budget that they had to do this, something like this.
Yeah.
So it was I would say low budget but still high risk for the return. And also it was high risk because we've never done anything this crazy and out there and bizarre of putting an academic director running around different crazy scenarios. And I have to say, and I think this part is important, that this is the the sort of the combination of a lot of other projects that were being a bit more different and bolder each time, that it came to the part that when we released this, it makes sense, right? Like the brand was going a bit riskier every single time, so it worked. And we always say that es más importante pedir perdón que pedir permiso. So we sort of, the translation for this, you ask for forgiveness. So
not permission.
And this it's not like we were hiding this project, but we were, let's say, not saying that it was this eclectic. And then everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Because if you would have said it, maybe it wouldn't see the light of day. And now everyone loved it.
Yeah, some people, just ask for forgiveness, folks. That's like a theme with this podcast. I love all my guests because we are the folks who just ask for forgiveness because, you have a really good idea that has soul, like you said. And we're not doing this, like we're doing this because we believe in it and we believe in our institutions, right? And sometimes you just got to take the risk. So I'm glad you all did. Tell us all the good things that have happened since.
So I think that the most important part is that we were not expecting this result. Even when we were doing the whole recording, we said, this is a great piece. But starting out with the perception internally before it was released, that people were like, this is amazing. It's so different. It's so fresh. For me, one of the biggest things I take is that people now want to be like Andrew, like her deans or vice deans. It's like a metric of success. It's like, how Andrew can I be when I'm doing a video? And I think that that's amazing because it changed sort of that perception that you need to be in a corset and serious and tight in order to be professional. And that's not the case. You can be successful by being different, and you can be fun, and that doesn't mean that you're less professional. So that balance for me is a very good result internally for us to have. Something else is that out of the entire pathway, this is a video that changed everything. After this video, we had to do a series within the same universe, the audiovisual universe, of student testimonials. We did 4 student testimonials that they are all as crazy as the main video. For example, I love that the market research one is like, if it was an investigator, and it starts in black and white, and it's like very cool because we created a universe for what the programs would look like audiovisually. I would say that this video had around 20% more viewership, which is amazing in the platforms. And then visualizations on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube were great as well. It was a result that we weren't expecting, that all of the videos from now on had to be different, catchy, and friendlier. And I think that that's something. And obviously, I think that the Cannes thing was, our Top Gun. I mean, that was amazing.
Come on, that
was amazing.
Legit.
Finalist. in the Cannes Corporate Media and TV Awards. It's a reference for TikTok, for LinkedIn, and I think that that's something we feel really proud of. And I feel really proud of the team for creating something that's very different for higher education. Sometimes we think we compete with just higher education brands, but we're competing with every other brand that's out there: Nike, Puma, Apple, every other brand that's doing things that are different. And I think we should strive for that.
Usually my favorite result is that it gives you that kind of permission to do the next thing, right? Because you tried something, it worked. So now your community trusts you. And like we can actually unleash the soul and the creativity that is possible, right? Higher ed doesn't have to be so stuffy. Emma, any final words for our listeners who are feeling super inspired by this and want to go and try it themselves?
I would say that thinking outside of the box within our field is not a luxury. I would say it's more of a requirement.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
We are so used to working with what we've worked with the past years, or processes that we've inherited, or things, how we should do things. An MBA should be this. We should communicate this way. We need to do this. And I say that with every new project, or with projects that are not as protected, that you have the liberty to do things differently, you should really go all out and take risks. Because if we're not taking risks in higher education, who is going to take risks out there? And I always ask this question when I have a conference, and I think that it's a very relevant question. If you think of your favorite ad of all time, historically, so think day of your favorite ad of any brand. Do you have it in mind? Is that ad in your mind from a higher education institution? Of course not. Because we do not do things that are this memorable. And I think we should aspire to be edgier, different, more creative, because generations are changing, the industry is changing, and we should strive to be as creative as possible and as rebellious as possible with what we have. I feel it's truly our duty.
I feel so inspired right now. I'm like, yeah, like what other industry transforms people so fundamentally, right? Like the ad that I thought of was like, there's this Nike ad where there's a person walking along a street and like they're just starting their journey for whatever goal they have. And like you see how they transform along this journey. And like we're talking shoes. Talk about like higher education changes like entire generations of families. Like, oh my God, we are wasting our time.
And talk about
people.
Powerful stories.
Make more soulful videos.
We have a pool of amazing, inspiring, powerful stories that are waiting to be shared. And we just do the same. Oh, no, let's do a blog of the Vice Dean again, because it's what we're used to do. It's true. We need to think. We need to think differently. People want to be inspired. People don't want to feel that you're selling this to them. They want to laugh. They want to consume that content willingly, not being forced into it.
That's perfect advice, everyone. Go and take risks. Do the thing that's going to make someone feel something. Emma, do you think we should say goodbye in English or Spanish?
Obvio.
Spanish? All right. Go for it.
Muchas gracias por invitarme. Me lo he pasado genial, como a las dos señoras en el balcón chismeando. Y salud. Un beso.
Y salud. Hasta luego, mis queridos oyentes. Y recuerden, lo dicho, dicho, y lo hecho, hecho. Keep walking the walk and talking the tactics. The Talking Tactics podcast is part of the Enrollify podcast network. If you like this podcast, chances are you'll like other Enrollify shows too. Our podcast network is growing by the month, and we've got a plethora of marketing, enrollment, and higher ed technology shows that are jam-packed with stories, ideas, and frameworks, all designed to empower you to be a better higher ed professional. Our shows help higher ed marketers and admissions pros find their next big idea and feature a selection of the industry's bests as your hosts, like Jamie Hunt, Allison Tercio, Jenny Lee Fowler, Jeremy Tiers, and so many of your other favorite leaders in higher ed too. Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the leading AI-powered, all-in-one student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful, personalized, and engaging interactions with students. Check them out at element451.com.